have told me a year ago that I would be home educating right now, I probably would have laughed. I'm not one of those types. I would have thought, I don't have the qualifications, the expertise, the knowledge, or even the patience to do that. I don't know what I'm doing. Wouldn't I just my kids up? And I'm still not one of those types. And I realised that there really isn't a type, despite it seeming that way from the outside. There really aren't that many of us floating around in Hessian gowns with our harems and walking barefoot everywhere. And the ones that do choose to live that way aren't all necessarily home educators. It's more an eclectic mix of families that represent a mindset more than a stereotype.
On Monday, we started our week at a charity car show at a local pub, where, obviously, ice cream was the first major attraction. After this, we saw many different cars, including a Rolls-Royce previously owned by the owners of the Titanic, a cool-looking green Chevy, and an old army Jeep. Casey was much more bothered about walking the dog, and the other boys appeared to spend their time pretending to be dogs. We guessed what car was under the cover, and while waiting for it to be revealed, I kept Casey quiet by spinning him round.
Dogs! Dogs! Dogs!
Reuben span himself around on the grass, and then we made our way home to be greeted by a quite unwelcome friend. A false widow spider.
Yeah. He bites.
Just in the shops? That's craziness. Around this big. Well, just like this big. Oh no.
After a few questions answered about the nature of these spiders, the boys finished their night off playing the PlayStation with their friend.
I used to think that home-educated kids were weird, despite never meeting any. I don't think I had ever met any home-educated kids until I actually entered into this world of being a home-educating family. And I was completely judgmental of something that I knew absolutely nothing about. And the fact that I knew nothing about it was probably the reason that I was so judgmental of it.
Tuesday, we met up with a couple of friends from the school to do a maze, where the kids took the lead in navigating where to go to get to the end.
I keep my hat like a
Tour guide.
Oh, it won't stay. Where are we going?
We were completely left behind, dawdling with the 1.5-year-old going the wrong direction as the others blazed ahead. And just as we reached the finish point, it started tipping down. Typical.
Should we do one?
Think of that maze.
That was fun.
Oh.
I don't have any teaching qualifications. I don't have all the knowledge, but that's okay. because nobody knows everything about everything, and quite frankly, who wants to know everything about everything? And do you know what we have now? The internet, and it's pretty fast. Do you know what I do have expertise in? And you probably have expertise in the exact same thing. I am an expert in my kids, and just to clarify, I don't mean that you are an expert in my kids, I mean that you are an expert in your own kids. Well, I hope. I know how to read their behaviour, I know how to read their emotions, I know their interests, I know what they're into, I know how I can adapt our learning to suit their personality, which just happens naturally because they show me what they want to learn, and then I just facilitate that.
Wednesday, we met up with a few other home-ed families at a local mountain bike track. Boys went for a ride round the track, and it seems like Ash had the best experience out of them all, as Hudson's take on the experience wasn't exactly astounding.
How was that? Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy that?
Deschooling is a big deal. For me anyway, it is my hang-up, it's my anxiety, it's my lesson that I am going through. I'm not there to tell them what they need to learn, because that's what traditional school does. I worry that they won't know enough. I worry that they won't read well enough. I worry that they won't be able to spell anything. I worry that they won't be able to get any qualifications. I worry that they won't be able to explain Pythagoras' theory. But do I even know Pythagoras' theory? No. Have I ever needed to know it? No. Do I care? No. So, but then my brain goes, but what if they need to know it in the future? And my rational mind just goes, if they need to know it, they'll figure it out. They already know what they need to learn because they're actively living their lives, and they seek out the information that they need at the time. We don't know anything about childbirth until we become pregnant, and then we need to know about childbirth. It's relevant and it's contextual, and that's the whole point of home education.
Thursday was another day of rain, and despite getting drenched at the maze a day ago, we committed to a picnic with a few other home-ed families. Although we got a few double takes from some dog walkers and cyclists wondering why the bloody hell we were having a picnic in the rain, the kids really didn't care and had a great time playing football, riding their bikes, playing in the sand, making jumps for monster trucks and digging a tunnel.
Went in that way, did it? Righto. Right, shall we have a quick look and see if we can find the other little truck?
Again, Ash got stuck right in there with the kids' activities. In the afternoon, we met up with another friend at a skate park for some more bike riding, throwing the truck around and playing in the playground. Considering the perception is that home-educated kids aren't social, these kids have a better social life than us.
I don't want them to be learning the same things that the schools consider important, because it might not be important to my kids, and they have the freedom to choose what is important to them without losing their love for learning along the way. I'll end with a quote from Socrates, who said, "Education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel."